Hey, how's it going there, peeps? Phil here from MTG Kiwi Philosophy here, bringing you yet another deck tech. This one is a Jund Reanimator token deck. So let's get this underway. And well, first off, we're going to talk about our build arounds. And our build around is 4 copies of Open the Graves and 2 copies of Desecrated Tomb. So Open the Graves is a 5-drop enchantment that whenever a creature dies, we get to create a 2/2 zombie token. And Desecrated Tomb is whenever one or more creature leaves the graveyard, we get to create a 1/1 bat with flying, which is fantastic. So these are our 2 build arounds, and to solidify the 2 build arounds and make our deck slightly stronger, we're going with 4 copies of Death Baron. Now Death Baron is a 3-drop 2/2 zombie wizard. Skeletons you control and other zombies you control get +1 and have Death Touch. So obviously whenever a creature of ours dies, we're going to be able to create a Death Touch zombie, which is fantastic. And there's nothing better than being able to threaten our opponents with token creatures, because they don't really want to block it. But you know what? We've got great blockers and they've got no good blocks. Now in order to have the Death Baron, we also know that he's going to become a target, making all of our tokens Death Touch. So we are going to have to play 3 copies of Abnormal Endurance. Abnormal Endurance is a 2-drop instant speed. Until the end of the turn, target creature gets +2 and gains when this creature dies, you can return it to the battlefield tapped. So if this creature dies and we also have the Open the Graves out, we're going to be creating a token as well as being able to bring it back to play, which is fantastic, giving our zombie +1 and also Death Touch, which is fantastic. Now we're going to need a few more build arounds, and these are them. These 2 creatures are going to help synergize with our Open the Graves and Death Baron. And the first of those creatures is 4 copies of Reassembling Skeleton. Now the Reassembling Skeleton is a 2-drop that is a 1/1, but it's going to get +1 from the Death Baron. And on top of that, if it dies, it goes to the graveyard, we create a 2/2 zombie. But we can return it from the graveyard and then create a 1/1 bat with Desecrated Tomb. Now the next creature is 4 copies of Doom Dissenter. Now the Doom Dissenter is also really good because when it dies, we essentially are creating 2 zombies, and that's going to give us a go wide strategy, which is fantastic for us. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a trigger to remove it from the graveyard to bring it back to trigger Desecrated Tomb, but that doesn't matter because it's done its job by just simply blocking and dying, and that is fantastic for us. Alright, now let's move on to the next card that is also going to synergize with the graveyard and recycling part, and that is Squee the Immortal. Now Squee the Immortal is a 3-drop 2/2, and of course when Squee dies, once again creates a zombie from Open the Graves, and when we pay to return him to play, we also trigger Desecrated Tomb. We're constantly going to be able to get zombies and bats on a regular basis, which is fantastic between the Reassembling Skeleton and Squee the Immortal. Alright, well let's add this last piece to make this Jund dream come true, and that is 4 copies of Poison Tip Archer. It's a 4-drop 2/3 elf with reach and Death Touch, and whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses a life. So the fantastic thing is, even if our creature dies, they lose a life. So we're going to be sacking our creatures, and we're going to be bringing it back, and then we're going to be creating more creatures, and if they all die, there's so much death, it's going to be fantastic for us. So this is another fantastic target for Abnormal Endurance to keep alive, because it's going to keep on sucking our opponent's life total away. Alright, one more creature to go, and this creature is fantastic. It works in all round this whole deck, and that is 4 copies of Ravenous Harpy. Now the Ravenous Harpy is fantastic. It's a 3-drop 1/2 flying Harpy with pay 1, sacrifice a creature and put a +1 counter on the Ravenous Harpy. Now the point is, we're not actually worried whether or not the Harpy gets bigger or not. It's the fact that we're sacrificing it to create. Our opponents might not block Reassembling Skeleton or even Squee, but the fact is we can sacrifice them at the end of the turn, create a zombie. They lose a life if we have the Poison Tip Archer, and then of course we bring it back and we get it back with the Desecrated Tomb. So it's really fantastic. The Ravenous Harpy is another creature we can potentially use Abnormal Endurance, but I think the main targets we really want to protect is the Death Baron and the Poison Tip Archer. Alright, well let's move on to our last cards in the deck, and that is 3 copies of Trumpet Blast. Now, Trumpet Blast is a 3-drop instant speed attacking creatures get +2 until the end of the turn. Now the great thing about this is it's not quite an overrun, but the fact is that we're creating so many tokens, even if they don't want to block them, we can say, for example, get through three 3/3s, and then all of a sudden those 3/3s get turned into 5/5s, and that's 15 damage on the swing. The Crag back's really awesome on this thing, and I think you'll find that this is going to do some serious damage for us, whether it's offensively or even defensively, because if they want to swing in with some massive creatures and we don't for some reason have Death Touch in play, this is going to help us knock back some of those bigger creatures, and it's going to make our defense a little bit more viable, but definitely attack is going to be lethal. Moving on to our lands now, we're going to go with 4 copies of Woodland Cemetery, we're going to go with 4 copies of Rootbound Crag, and 4 copies of Dragonskull Summit. And this is to make sure we've got an even balance to be able to make sure we can cast those Poison Tip Archers, because we're not going to be getting any fetch lands. Okay, and the last of our lands, we're going to go with 4 copies of Memorial to Folly, 4 swamps, and 4 mountains. Now we're having 4 Memorial to Follies in here because we want to be able to have another return from the graveyard trigger, and there's nothing better from getting that from a land. My only concern about the lands is we could be getting a lot of lands untapped, so we're just going to have to be slightly patient, and if the balance doesn't quite work, I guess you can always change the deck and replace the Memorial to Follies with lands if you don't want, if you want something different in your sideboard. Okay, well, speaking of sideboard, let's move into the sideboard. 4 copies of Lightning Strike, 4 Murders, 4 Vraska's Contempts, and 2 Soul Salvage. So with the removal, we have a 3 to the face, we have a removal for a creature, and we have a removal for a creature or a planeswalker, and a little bit of life gain. So that's going to be fantastic for us. And of course, the last piece to our beautiful sideboard is we're going to go with 1 more copy of Abnormal Endurance, just to protect some of our build arounds. Well, that's it here from MTG Kiwi Philosophy. I'm Phil. I really hope you like the Jund Reanimator deck, and I hope you smash those like buttons and make a comment and share, and you know what, subscribe, do what you want. I'll catch you on the flip side. Ciao.